Hey everybody, Dan with Pain for You. Today I want to talk about emotions. And some people have this belief that I don't have emotions, or I don't feel emotions, or I'm not good at feeling emotions. And they may try to do some of this emotional discovery work, whether it be an I feel whatever emotion, or a journaling process, or a mindfulness process, and just sitting with their emotions, whatever it may be. Some people really run into a roadblock and feel that I'm not getting anywhere. I'm coming up empty. I'm coming up numb. I don't feel anything. There's nothing there. And then they believe that, well, my life isn't so bad. I've got nothing really bad going on. So why is it that I'm not feeling anything, right? And unfortunately, some of these folks also are unable to feel good stuff either. So the people who are very stoic and don't really tend to experience negative emotions, they can have somebody close to them die, and it's like, whatever. These are also the type of people who don't seem to enjoy the good stuff either, the highs, they're just very much flatlined, almost emotionally dead. And my opinion on this, I'm no expert, I'm no psychologist or psychiatrist, but my opinion on this, from dealing with so many people over the years, is that their life experience and their upbringing taught them extremely well that emotions are not cool. Maybe you had parents who were non-emotional, or did not feel or allow you to experience emotions. Maybe anytime you felt emotions as a kid, you were told, hey, shut up, stop crying. We don't cry around here, toughen up, right? Whether you're a boy or a girl, we are told that certain emotions were not cool, not acceptable, not allowed. And even the happy emotions, I can remember as a kid getting yelled at because me and my brother and sister were laughing too much and playing too hard and, having too good of a time. Hey, shut up. The hell are you doing? Stop acting like an idiot. Right? So even happiness and joy could be squashed down by parents. They were just trying to get through their own days and had no clue how to really parent well. And that was before the days of 72 different parenting books. And look, sometimes those parenting books have gone overboard, because now we give trophies to everybody, whether they win or lose, and we can debate on the validity of that and the impact on society. But not to get off topic here, emotions. We've learned that emotions are not allowed, that emotions are not safe. We were raised by parents that may have expressed emotions very strongly. Anger, rage, sadness, I watched my mom go into the hospital twice for depression. And, sadness, not really something that I'm good with. Anger, something I'm not that good with. I had to learn how to give myself permission to do these things. And so if you are the type that is not able to experience emotions, high or low, good ones, bad ones, and frankly, they're all good emotions. Some are just more pleasant than others. If that's the case, try to ask yourself, who taught me that emotions are not allowed? Who taught me that I shouldn't express or feel these emotions? Who told me that stop crying? Crying's not allowed. Who told me that don't be mad? It makes you a bad person. We treat each other nicely, right? Who taught you that? Or did you learn from the example that I never want to be like my crazy mother or angry father or my bipolar brother, right? We see examples of emotions being explosive, damaging, threatening. And we vow at a very, very, very early age, I'm never going to be like that. And so this sets in motion these, I'll call them these programs. And they're the subconscious programs. They're what's formed in the first 7 years of life. And For most of us, those programs continue to run throughout our entire life. And so, that's what I believe is the problem, is that if you're really struggling with doing the emotional discovery part of this healing process, that's likely why. And so, one of the processes, which I have explained before, I will explain it again, is to reframe your belief about yourself if you feel certain emotions. So, it's the 3-column exercise. I've mentioned it recently, I'm going to mention it again. Get out a piece of paper and do this, especially if you're struggling to get to your emotions, or if you judge certain emotions as bad. I'm feeling sad all day and I can't get rid of it. Well, why do you want to get rid of it? If you're sad, be sad. And if you're sad all day about things not your symptoms, is it possible you're stuck in the story and you're ruminating on all the things that are wrong with your life all day, and that's what's making you so sad all day? Look, do the emotional discovery, allow yourself to feel these emotions deeply, and then move on with your day. This is not the type of thing where staying sad all day and ruminating on everything that's wrong and the reasons you should be sad. That's not what I'm suggesting here. I'm suggesting that we do the work, feel the emotions, and then get on with our day and look for things that bring us joy. That's not repression. We just felt the sadness, right? So somebody was asking the question, if I don't get it, you're telling me to, go about my day and try to have some fun, but isn't that repression? Well, no, not if you're doing the emotional discovery process as a daily commitment. So, back to the emotional reframing exercise. Get out a piece of paper. Left side of the page, draw a line. Well, draw 2 lines down it. Make 3 columns. Left column, list the emotions, the big ones: anger, rage, sadness, guilt, shame, fear, jealousy, envy, hurt, like your feelings were hurt. The middle column is where the gold is, where you will really discover why you're neutral, why you can't find your emotions. Because here we're going to really say, or ask ourselves, what does it mean about me if I allow myself to feel the emotions in the left-hand column? So for example, what does it mean about me if I get angry? Does it mean I'm an asshole like my father? Does it mean I'm out of control and dangerous and scary and I might hurt somebody around me? Does it mean I'm a jerk and nobody will like me? Okay. What if I get into a rage? Does that mean I'm going to turn into somebody with bipolar disorder? Right? What if I'm sad? Does that mean I'm weak as a man? I'm a wussy, I'm a big baby and I don't earn the respect? Right? What does it mean if you're jealous? Does that mean that you're a weak person and that you're insecure? What does it mean if you feel guilt or shame? Oh no, that means that there's something wrong with me, or that I did something wrong if I feel guilty. Right? So if you have all of these beliefs that you are broken and not well or weak or whatever those judgments are that you came up with, if you believe that about yourself, how well do you think this emotional discovery work's going to go? Seriously. You're not going to be able to sit there and go, what emotion am I feeling? And go, yeah, anger. Ugh. If in fact you believe that anger makes you a bad person, out of control, dangerous, and mentally ill. Is that going to work for you? Right? And that is why these programs that we were given, they aren't our decisions. They were given to us through example or through punishment or through yelling. The people who raised us gave us these programs. And we're just playing them out day after day after day. And that's what really starts this whole TMS thing in the first place, is because these emotions are deemed so unacceptable, scary, and even dangerous that the brain is seeking any way possible to distract us from that. And so it creates these pains or symptoms as the distraction. And so here's where this gets good. The 3-column exercise. Emotions on the left, the meaning about you if you feel these emotions. And now you get to redefine it, reframe what it means about you if you feel these emotions. You may come up with your own meaning, but I would encourage you, in the third column on the right, the new meaning about you is that you're a normal human being. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just experiencing human emotions, and guess what? You're human, right? It doesn't mean you're crazy, insane, weak. You're not a big wussy. You're not a bad person that's ashamed of something and is guilty because you did something wrong. Like, you're a normal human, and we get to feel these emotions. And so this process will absolutely lay the groundwork for not only people who come up empty or come up numb, but also for the rest of us who are able to do this emotional discovery and find some emotions, and then we get really overwhelmed that, oh no, sadness came up. How do I get rid of that? Or anxiety came up. That's really fear wrapped up in the word called anxiety. How do I get rid of it? Oh no, these emotions are really intense and I got so angry and I don't know what to do with them. Okay, well, if you reframe them to know deep down in your heart that these emotions just make you a normal human being, and they're justified emotions. If you look at the experiences that cause them, it's very justified to be pissed off, to be in a rage, to be sad, to feel guilty or ashamed of things, right? These things are normal. Doesn't make you a bad person. So reframe these emotions. And look, if you've never done this, or if you've heard me talk about it but you never did it for yourself, please, please, please do it. Because honestly, one of the major components of getting better is feeling your emotions and convincing your subconscious brain that these emotions are safe and that you can feel them and still be okay, right? And still not fall into a fit of depression or fly into an angry rage and hurt anybody around you, or blow up your personal relationships, or freak out at your boss, lose your job. Look, the goal of feeling your emotions is to convince your brain that these emotions are safe and they're normal. The only way to do it is to feel them. And if you can't feel them because they're so locked up in that basement because you've got all of these negative beliefs about what it means about you, how well do you think that emotional discovery process is going to work? Or even if you can get to them and you're a very emotional person, how well do you think you're going to be able to let go of these emotions once you've truly felt them? How well do you think you're going to be able to function the rest of the day if you truly experience the depth of these, really, really brutal truth emotions? It's going to be tough. So by really reframing that all of the emotions are truly human emotions, they make you normal, and that there's no judgment. If you're sad today, so what? Be sad. If you're anxious today, so what? Be anxious. Yeah, it's a little uncomfortable, but so what? It's not forever, right? Allow it, feel it, because as long as you're running away from the emotions, they don't dissipate, they don't release, right? Go back and watch that video, Hold an Open House for Your Emotions. The more we resist, the more we've got those emotions banging on the door, banging on the windows, trying to get in, and you're just saying, go away, right? You gotta let these emotions in. And if you're having a tough time doing that, and you're afraid of feeling these emotions, or you just can't get to them at all because they're so locked up, you've got this steel door on the basement that's just locked with 15 deadbolts. You're going to have to reframe what you believe about yourself if you feel these emotions. And once you've done that, it really becomes a practice. You're not going to get good at this in one day. You're not going to go, well, I did this and I still can't get it, so screw this. This emotional discovery stuff doesn't work. Or let's say you start feeling some emotions and you go, oh, that was awful. I'm not doing that again. Or let's say you did some of the emotional discovery and you got some of the emotions and all of a sudden, whammos, the pain spikes. Then you say, woof, those emotions are dangerous. I better not feel that again. Look, pain's going to flare. Symptoms are going to move. Things are going to get weird for a while when you do this stuff. But understand that that's the case. And your goal is to feel these damn emotions. Get used to it. You're human. If you want to go through life stoic, don't be surprised if all of these repressed emotions and unresolved emotions from a lifetime of resistance is resulting in symptoms and pains, right? So you gotta reframe what you believe about you if you feel these emotions. And really, I talk about the 4 pillars of getting better. Knowledge, what is TMS? Assessment, is that going on with you? Do you accept that? Third is the emotional discovery. Been talking about it this entire video. And last is the mindset. But with those 4 pillars, guess what underlies the whole thing? Guess what the foundation is underneath those 4 pillars? It's the belief that emotions are okay. They're safe. They don't make me a bad person. They don't make me crazy. They don't make me mentally ill. Right? So if you don't have that as your foundation, how do you think you're actually going to do when you sit down and try to do this emotional discovery? It's going to be really tough. And if you're a very stoic person, or you've convinced yourself, I don't feel emotions, I just have never been an emotional person. If you believe you're not an emotional person, and you've been repeating that throughout your entire life, it's going to take a little bit of work. Start saying, well, I'm getting to know my emotions. I'm learning to feel them more. We believe what we think and say most often. So don't convince yourself that this is impossible for you, that you've never been good with emotions. We believe what we say. So do that exercise, reframe that, lay the foundation, because if you don't have that foundation, the emotional discovery process is going to be either difficult because you're not going to get anywhere. You're going to spend 5 minutes and go, I got nothing. I'm coming up empty. I'm neutral. There are no emotions. And then you're not going to keep doing it because you're going to decide this doesn't work. Or you're going to do the emotional discovery and freak yourself out because some of these emotions can be fairly intense and unsettling. And then you run away from them. Or you feel the emotions and the pain jumps around or spikes, and then you're going to say, oh my God, they are dangerous. I can't feel fear because fear makes my pain get worse. Okay, well, understand that these emotions are normal. And those responses with the pain jumping around or symptoms changing is normal as part of this healing process. So please, please, please lay the foundation that emotions are safe. They don't mean anything other than the meaning you assign to them. And this whole video is about you reassigning what it means about you if you feel certain emotions. So do this. Take the time to do this. If you haven't, you really need to. This is one of the core foundations of everything that I teach here. And as long as you feel that emotions are scary and dangerous and unsafe and make you a bad person and are uncomfortable and scary and they make my pain worse, it's going to be hard to get through this process. So please, I'm encouraging you to dive in, reframe these emotions, reframe what it means about you if you feel them. You're going to feel a burden lift. And then after that, it really takes practice. You're going to have to get in there every day and allow yourself to feel emotions. Allow it, allow it, allow it. And it may take a while, especially if you're one of these stoic people. And guess what? For the stoics out there, you may find that you finally start to crack through and break through. And all of a sudden you may get this flood of, holy shit, what the hell was that? That's good news. Allow it, feel it, embrace it. You're okay. And then keep going. That's why daily practice is really required. You gotta practice this stuff. You're not gonna figure it out in a day. You're not gonna get to these emotions in a day. But little by little by little, you're gonna get deeper and deeper. Your brain's gonna feel more and more comfortable allowing some of this stuff out of the basement, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna figure it out. And the more you can feel your emotions and know you're safe, the less reason there is for a distraction in the first place. And then you combine that with the mindset of saying, yeah, I really don't care about those symptoms. They're the result of this repression and distraction process. So I'm not going to focus on the symptoms. I'm going to focus on feeling and teaching myself to allow these emotions. And the mindset of indifference is really important too. Because I have definitely met some people who have done, the emotional discovery for a long time. They're still not getting anywhere, and usually it's that mindset that's got them hung up. They're so fearful and focused on and monitoring and desperate to fix these emotions, and so, or fix the symptoms, excuse me. So, knowledge, assessment, process, which is the emotional discovery, and mindset is number 4. But again, if you don't have the foundation of knowing that these emotions make you a normal human being and they're safe, and you feel that they are unacceptable, scary, and dangerous and make you an awful person, those pillars are not going to stand up so well, because they're trying to stand up on the beach, on the soft sand, and they're tipping over and they're not working. You really got to lay a solid foundation that these emotions are safe. So, starting to beat a dead horse here, but it's so important. This is foundational to getting better. And if you don't do this, you're going to continue to bang your head against the wall when it comes to the emotional discovery and asking yourself why it's not working. And if the emotional discovery is working and you're really feeling some deep stuff, make sure you got the mindset stuff dialed in. Develop that attitude of indifference. Really stop caring about the symptoms, because they are the result of this process. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're a normal human being that developed some really effective coping mechanisms to these awful programs that we were given as a kid and what we learned about emotions back then. Sometimes we cope too well and we repress these emotions, and they kind of come back to bite us in the ass later. But the good news is you can fix it. So anyway, video's getting long here. Love you guys and gals. It's almost Christmas. This video will post on Christmas Eve. So if you celebrate, have a very Merry Christmas. If you don't, I will wish you a very happy holidays anyway. So, I guess we'll talk to you guys in the next video. Thanks.